Here's an AMI This Week shortcut with Grant Hardy.
As a totally blind consumer, I was so excited when mobile payments rolled out a few years ago. For the first time ever, I had a way to confirm what, where, and how much I was paying. But there were still some problems. There wasn't a way to know the amount I was paying before I actually tapped or swiped my card. And there wasn't a way to independently navigate the payment system. I mean, am I tipping 15% or am I accidentally tipping thousands of dollars because I'm entering my PIN into the tip section?
Louis Greco, Manager of Regulatory Affairs and Atlantic Canada Advocacy for CNIB, agrees and says the issue was a lack of awareness.
The mindset that is prevalent from regulators on down was just oblivious to the fact that payment terminals were a problem for people who couldn't see. For those of us in the community, that's hard to understand, but the reality is that many of the people, if not all, of the folks that sit around the table that make decisions within industry and within government typically aren't folks with lived experience. Therefore, it's not part of their reality.
Marta Shalvska is VP of Products at Moneris, the #1 payment processor in the country. And Moneris collaborated with the CNIB and the Government of Canada to create a more inclusive, accessible payment terminal.
What we implemented were things like high contrast displays. We added audible prompts. So every single one of those screens, whether you're doing it in a restaurant at a tableside, for instance, or at a counter, we added step-by-step guided audio, which comes directly from the device. So for instance, the card holder can actually hear what's on the screen, and it actually includes the instructions as well. So how to leave the tip, confirmation of tip entry, confirmation of payment, and the fact that a receipt has been printed.
Moneris is offering this technology at no cost to as many payment terminals as possible. Louis, who is blind, says that he's yet to see an accessible terminal in the wild, but when he does find one, he says turning on the accessibility features is easy.
So when the merchant hands you the terminal, press the number 5. If it starts talking, bingo. If it doesn't start talking, then hand the terminal back to the merchant and say, sorry, I made a mistake. You're going to have to start the transaction over again.
John Rafferty, CEO of CNIB, is optimistic about the future of accessible payments in Canada based on their partnership with Moneris.
What we've really got here is, yes, we've got tens of thousands of locations now, and it will grow, that have accessible terminals, and that's fantastic. But what we have is we've proven to all of the hardware manufacturers and the back-end technology providers that provide that secure payment transaction, we've proved that this can be done accessibly. And now that everybody knows it can, there's no excuse for it not to be. So it is great, but it is the beginning of the solution. It isn't the solution itself.
After testing the accessible terminal, Louis can't wait to find one in the wild.
I can't describe it. It's I look forward to the first time that I'm actually, paying for a pair of shoes or a meal, and I can independently complete the transaction without drawing attention to myself, or without having to say to the server or whoever I happen to be with, can you do this for me? I look forward to that day. I know it's coming.
I'm excited too, Louis.
Now the danger is going to be spending more money than I ought to. Am I right?